that when, please, you are inviting people for housewarming. I don't know what Rio Ferdinand actually meant by him being the missing piece. If Rio Ferdinand were the father of Victor Osimhen, will he advise him to join Manchester United, who is enjoying number 13 and looking for 14 anytime soon?
Well, the thing is Ferdinand is just trying to gaslight Osimhen. I don't think Osimhen should go to Manchester United. At the moment, Manchester United is going through a rebuilding process. And you cannot expect a striker that is performing at that top level to be part of that rebuilding process. If Manchester United had qualified for Europe, that would have probably be an incentive for, and Osimhen to be able to be part of it. However, the risk that comes with, joining a team that is rebuilding is this. It tends to soil reputation if the rebuilding does not go well. Remember, the rebuilding we are talking about will take 2-3 years, because obviously I'm 100% sure Ruben Amorim will not sign 11 players. Probably you see him sign 4 or 5 players to see how they will gel and the rest of that. If Victor Osimhen comes with a whole lot of reputation, he has been tested and trusted in multiple leagues. A whole lot of people would expect him to come to Manchester United and hit the ground running, putting him under unnecessary pressure. Yes, they might be willing to give him, whatever he wants. However, it's going to be a very bad move for him. So if I were Osimhen, I think at the moment he should avoid anything that has to do with Manchester United. Let Manchester United bear their own cross, rebuild. In 2-3 years' time, then he can look at coming. Coming to join Manchester United. But at the moment, Manchester United is not the right club for him. He should be in Europe, and he should not be with a club that's not in Europe next season.
All right. Rio Ferdinand believes that he should come and show the strikers what it means to score goals. And he says that we need experience at Manchester United. We need someone who knows how to score. We need someone who can come and show these young strikers at United how to do it. If I'm Manchester United, I'm making it happen. The Premier League legend insisted on his Rio Ferdinand Presents podcast. So, is it that Garnacho does not know how to put the ball into the net? Is he talking about, what's his name? Sexy Orobosa. Is it that Orobosa does not know
Orobosa, yes.
how to score? That fraud we call Holland, the look-alike Haaland, the low-budget Haaland that you have. Is it that he doesn't know how to score after spending £74 million? How much was Zexi bought? I think about 60 or 50 million pounds. And these are the players. If Osimhen, if Osimhen is going to be bought now, let's say 75 million pounds, you just want to be £1 million shy of Holland, and you're asking him just £1 million or shy of Holland to come and teach that kind of a player with so much money spent. I think Manchester United should go and investigate that transfer that brought in players like Holland and ask for refund in full.
True. Unfortunately, you don't even have the ground to actually make this call, because you have a Nunes who definitely missed his own wedding. If
Nunes is a forgotten project.
No,
at least an abandoned project.
That's what I'm saying. You don't even have the ground to make this sort of statement.
Nunes was bought for 64 million. Holland was bought for 74. At least I would prefer Nunes to Holland. Holland, he has no update, no back date, nothing to show. So he's just a fraud.
You prefer
what's the difference?
Yes, I prefer Nunes to that fraud.
No, let's
not compare. Let's talk about Manchester United. Let's not deviate. Let's talk about the issues at Manchester.
I'm not even trying to compare, because there's no ground for comparison.
You are deviating.
I'm simply saying you don't have the moral rights to make.
I have the moral rights. I'm talking about Manchester United at the moment. I'm talking about the future of the greatest striker in Africa right now, and that is Victor Osimhen. And your legend is asking that he makes a move to that club side. So we are looking at
So Jerry.
Okay,
when you want to build a team, right?
Okay.
When you want to build a team.
Anyway, you said it all before. Anyway.
When you want to build a team, it doesn't matter who comes first. Sometimes you might have this big player comes in and then start bringing other players to join, right? I mean, United don't. You talk about Garnacho. Garnacho is actually not an out and out striker. I mean, Hodlund, I don't know why United actually bought Hodlund, because, I mean, he hasn't proved himself to be even among the top 10 strikers in the Serie A before he joined. You know, I mean, for the case of United, really, I really cannot understand why he was bought. Other players who also complement the strikers are also there. We don't even have, you know, top quality creative midfielders in United that would really have made the job even easier, you know, for these guys. So all of these things into play. I don't think Osimhen alone will cut it for United. Osimhen is just one piece. You know, you want to call it a major piece, yes, but one piece that United need to actually start building a very good project. Again, I don't know why Ferdinand actually looked at Osimhen as a missing piece. With Osimhen in the ranks, United will not break into the top 4 with this team United has at this point. I mean, not with the goalkeeper that we have, not with Onana, not with players who cannot actually hold their own when the pressure is high. We don't even have... See, I've always said this thing, right? When you are building a team, you look at a team and then you look at human being, right? No man can actually stand without a spinal cord, right? If your spinal cord is not good, you cannot stand upright. Look at United middle line. So you understand that there's no fear factor in the center forward. There's no fear factor in the middle of the park. Casemiro doesn't have the legs again. Maybe Bruno Fernandes, perhaps, yes, but it really doesn't... it's not one player you look at and say, okay, yes, I fear this guy's creativity a lot. We don't have somebody in the middle of the defense that commands and pull everybody together. The goalkeeper is nowhere to be found. So look at that particular team. Look at all top clubs in Europe. You understand that these lines are actually very, very key, and you see that top players play along this line. So a team that doesn't have it, you don't expect them to actually compete for major honor. So bringing in just the head, I mean, having a good head does not mean you are actually, you know, a fit human, right? You must have other components of your body to be functioning optimally before we can actually look at you and say you are ready to have. And now being fit enough is being fit is not even a guarantee that you compete well. I mean, we have people who are actually fit, but they cannot actually fight, you know, in the MMA. So football is a contact sport. Football is an emotional sport. Football is a psychological sport. So all of these things must have to come into play. Look at the player's mentality before bringing him. That's why I look at clubs across Europe and the world. You see, players that actually turn things around are those with the highest level of mentality. Players that have the heart to actually go for the kill and go all out to bleed for the club side. United don't have those sort of players. So for United, it's a very long project, and that's why when this guy actually left United, this
Graham Potter, that was looking at Graham Potter and Woodgate as your next coach. Woodgate or Graham Potter would have been the next coach of Manchester United and not Ruben Amorim. Does it look like someone who means well for the club side? I think
we can have a conversation about his choice of coach or players, right? Okay. But then we cannot...
Was he not the one who signed Oiland? Or Oiland has already joined in? Was he not the one who signed Orobosa?
No, see, we can have a conversation about...
And that Yori you signed, what's his name?
Leno Yoro.
Pokoli.
No.
You Pokoli came before Danny.
No.
The last shot.
Wait. All these ones came before the last one. They came before the last one.
I feel for Ikechukwu has suddenly become a lawyer. When you are defending a bad project, this is what happens.
No,
you start making a lot of excuses, a lot of explanation just to press your point.
No, Jerry, I'm not actually.
No, I understand.
I'm not defending.
I'm not saying you are defending.
Why are you saying I'm sounding like a bad lawyer?
See,
I understand your pain. All right.
See, the thing is this: there has been so much bad signings in the past. The players for Manchester United were signed because it was just because I need this player, not because they are building towards a particular project. The signing on that Ten was so bad that we just assemble players for assembly's sake, and they had no direction. And that is what is playing out at the moment. The project for Manchester United, there is a need to, first of all, clear out players, which might take time because some of them have complicated contracts. That's number one. Number two, there is a need to bring in players that will fit, the manager's vision. That would take time because of the position Manchester United is in right now. The capacity years before we begin to see the fruit of this particular project. So as it is, there is no point bringing, and remember, Osimhen is about 26 now. If you are giving him 3 years before the club begins to do well, Osimhen is already getting to his prime, and it does not make any logical sense. At the moment, he's at the peak of his powers. A whole lot of bigger clubs in Europe that are doing better than Manchester United will be interested in him based on the performance he has put in so far. for his career, for the sake of his career, and for the sake of his reputation, Manchester United is not, the best club to go at the moment. There are bigger clubs in England that will probably fit, an Osimhen well. I think Ferdinand should leave Osimhen alone, let him decide on, the next move for him rather than try to gaslight him to come to Manchester United. At the moment, Manchester United is not a big team.
Yeah, if he wants to become a coach player, maybe at the later years of his career, he can to Manchester United and coach the attackers on how to score. Not now that he's enjoying his football. It will be detrimental.
I mean, they are talking about experience. There is a Ronaldo there. They need the experience. Ronaldo is 41. They should pick a Ronaldo, let him come back and change the boys.
He's busy making money. Man United cannot offer him even 1 week.
I mean,
that he earns in the 1 week salary he earns at his Arabian club side. Man United cannot afford it. Is it the Ratcliffe you are talking about that is sacking everybody? He wants to go and bring Ronaldo. By the time you do calculation of just 1 week, they will sack your legend. Sir Alex Ferguson was sacked. He asked him to bring Ronaldo that is living large. Let's even leave that conversation. But it's all good. I would have loved us to watch that Rio Ferdinand's video on his podcast where he made mention of the fact that he needs Victor Osimhen at Manchester United. Of course, if our producers have it ready, I think it will be a good one. But we all know that this summer, a lot of club sides will be going after Victor Osimhen because he has done excellently well at Galatasaray. So, I don't blame Rio Ferdinand. Definitely, you want such quality playing for your club side. Let's take a listen from Rio Ferdinand and we'll look at the pros and cons. It's also a conversational show. You can also call in and drop your comments on the comment section. We'll be able to take them. What do you think about the call by Rio Ferdinand for Osimhen to join the Red Devils?
We need experience. We need someone who knows how to score. We need someone who can come and show these young strikers at Man United how to do it. If I'm Man United, I'm making it happen. I want someone who knows their way around the football pitch at the elite level and knows how to score at the elite level consistently. Osimhen's done that. I want here and now. He does. Yes, Osimhen hasn't played in the Premier League, but I don't care. I think he scores wherever he goes.
All right. It was like a mandate. It was like I thought Rio Ferdinand was an activist. The way he was giving instruction, protesting to Ratcliffe and whoever is involved. Anyway, Man United is in a detrimental situation. They need all the help they can get. Even legends will have to turn activists if that will send a message to the owners.
How is he being an activist then?
Yeah, you could see the way he was instructing. It was instructive. It was not like he was telling them. It was instructing them.
So making gesticulation means you're an activist.
That's show of activism now.
What is show of activism?
You want me to define activism? Go to your dictionary. You go see I'm there. So you're asking me I should define activism for you. Leave me by word. Don't be particular by word. The one was showing. It was instructive. You can see the instruction. My eyes deceiving me. At least you can see the way he was instructive, telling leave that topic. You will go to your dictionary and find out. The thing is that he was saying something that it doesn't matter wherever he plays, that he doesn't care whether he has played in the Premier League before, that anywhere Osimhen goes, he scores. Maya, do you agree with that assertion?
No, definitely. I mean, Osimhen has proven that he didn't win the African footballer by fluke. The performance has been very exceptional. Yes, he had an unfortunate incident in Napoli. There is a Antonio Conte that's even regretting his decision that because Napoli is struggling in front of goals at the moment, but that's a discussion for another day. It didn't work out in Napoli because of whatever it is, because of disagreement that was had, which I feel should have resolved amicably and should have been able to continue his career with Napoli and the rest of that. However, so far so good. His performance has proven that the performance is not fluke. It's actually a quality player. Even the season where he got injured, he still had double figures. That shows the kind of quality he has. He has played in he played in Germany. He was able to make his mark in Germany. Played in France, made his mark there. Played in Italian Serie A, made his mark there. He has gone to the Turkish league, and he has also making his mark 4 different leagues, and he has been able to perform excellently well. That shows the kind of quality he has. So definitely, he's a player every club will want to get, but at the moment, the project does not fit, is the capacity that Osimhen has. The project will pull Osimhen down, and that is the reason why he's not a good fit for Manchester United. And also, if you look further, if the Ratcliffes, the new owner of Manchester United, they are not willing to break the bank to bring in quality players. If they are willing, if they have shown signs that they are willing to break the bank to bring top quality players, like 6-7 top quality players around the world, yes, I will probably say Osimhen should go there, but I don't think they will do that. A particular club that has decided to cap, the wage of players, that has decided to implement austerity measures and just on that, it shows that they are not ready to spend that much. They want to, make more, spend less, make more profit. I don't think that's a good club for an Osimhen to go at the moment that he's doing so well. So for me, I don't think it will be a good move.
All right, let's see how that pans out. As far as that one is concerned, we wish Ferdinand all the best. They say wishes were horses. We'll wait and see in the summer whether Victor Osimhen will take the big decision to join the Red Devils of Manchester. Let's talk about the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. They prepare for the Under-20 AFCON, which comes up later this year in Egypt. And of course, the Flying Eagles coach Aliyu Zubairu has named 7 overseas-based professionals for the final phase of training camp in Abuja ahead of the 2025 Under-20 AFCON in Egypt. And the pros are goalkeeper Soliu Ajia of FK Novi Paza, Emmanuel Chukwu, Benjamin Precious of Hoffenheim, Caleb Ochediku of NK Ujanik, and Ibrahim Alam of Real Valladolid. There's also Israel Ayuma of NK Istra and Umar Abubakar. Of course, a 35-man roster has been released, while it will be pruned down to 21 anytime soon. So Zubairu has proven his mettle coaching El Kanemi. I hope he'll be able to do it again at the under-20 level.
The under-20 level is I think the most difficult, underage tournaments, to actually win, because this is at this point where players start getting scouted to Europe. At this point is where you see many of them start even breaking into top clubs and becoming even regular players. Like Bukayo Saka, became regular players before they turned 18. We see Gavi, we see Lamine Yamal. These guys are, Lionel Messi and co. These guys, before they turned 20, Fabregas and co. These guys were already an established player for their team. Now, this is the level where you start seeing those top players becoming, key players. So at this level, after under 17, after under 20, once you're successful, once you've proven to be a superstar, you can even automatically become a first-team player for your country. Now, the coach himself, Aliyu Zubairu, yes, is a man who has a lot of experience in terms of coaching and of course in the Nigerian league and all of that. And this level perhaps is going to be a lot easier for him to handle, because these guys are actually not really big boys in their own right. So he is really going to actually really mentor them. But the question is this: how much of a project do we have? That is, because looking at the names that we have, many of these guys are actually foreign-based players coming from abroad and all of that. It shows that there's a problem with the structure back home.
No. If you take a look at the 35-man roster, a lot of players from age-grade teams, Sporting Lagos, Bayelsa United. I see a lot of players too, even from Aqua United, Castina United. So there's a flock of home-based talent.
When you say
and just 7 foreign-based players, that is if they will even make the 21-man roster.
Jerry, the question is this, right? I mean, we were having this conversation the other day. We talk about players playing in the Nigerian league. How many of them at that level played under 20 and then we see them in the Super Eagles? I mean, we look at the likes of...
Let's give Zubairu a benefit of that. At least you're one of those who continue to give them benefit of that.
Jerry, right. My point is this. If we don't have a proper system that is churning these guys out, when you see a player playing at the under-20 level, if these guys were called up for the Super Eagles, I will understand that they're already mature. Let's get to see them. But we are discussing under-20. So at what level, how did they even get to this point? We don't have a proper system that's actually bringing them out.
At least he had a training camp.
Training camp.
And they had a Waffle B tournament as well.
Jerry,
where the qualifiers
Waffle B tournament has always been there.
Okay.
This is just a tournament. We are just talking about the structure you have in place to actually bring players that will play for the Under-20 World Cup. We have, I mean, look at the English side that actually won the Under-20. Many of them actually moved from the Under-17. How many times have we seen our players move from Under-17? Let's even start from there. He played in the Under-17 tournament and then he played in the Under-20 tournament. I'll give you an example. 2005, the team that went to Finland in 2003 included Mikel Obi. In 2005, how many of those guys moved to Under-20?
And some of them missed their way now. Everybody that did that Under-17 will do that Under-20. You have said it here
My
before.
point is this, right?
So,
my point is this.
Yeah.
As at the time they were moving to Under-20, many of these guys were they were nowhere to be found. Many of them were, some of the players that moved to Under-17 with Mikel were actually Nigerian league players at the point. At Under-20, they were, in fact, they...
See, you just say what you want to say because I know you want to say that thing, but you're just sitting around it. Maiwa, we understand the situation. So I wanted you to say, that's why I was pretending as if I don't know anything for him to educate me. Yeah. But now he was just beating.
Jerry, when we got to the Under-20, when we got to the Under-20 2005, how many of these guys became irregular player in 2010?
Yeah, why? Why was it? Why did that happen? Why was it that?
We don't have a proper academy. That's what I'm saying. We don't have a proper structure.
We have Sporting Lagos now. They have academy now. Yes, all these clubs said. Let's
even talk about Sporting Lagos having an academy, right?
Okay.
How many of the academy players in Sporting Lagos today? How many of them are in this Sporting Lagos team?
At least we have like two.
Don't we have?
I saw like 2 players from Sporting Lagos who made the 35-man roster. So at least that's a start.
Their main team.
No, I'm talking about the under-20 roster.
Is it the under-20 roster that you're talking about? Is this players you said made the under-20 roster, right? Are they from the Sporting Lagos Academy or from the Sporting Lagos team? Sporting
Lagos Academy and Sporting Lagos team as well.
Let's
just put it that way because because at times, let me not tell you, at times, it is that you want me to defend. You want me to defend what I don't know. I will defend what I know. At least the player was quoted to come from Sporting Lagos. It now depends on the club side to tell us whether he's an academy product or he plays in the Sporting main team. You get? And there are also other players, even I saw players from Wiki Tourist, from Bayelsa United.
I think Zubairu will pick a player from Sporting Lagos Academy directly to the Under-20 World Cup. It's possible
if the player is doing well.
Everything is possible.
Promise. Yes.
We know everything is possible.
If he's doing well for him, there's no reason why not to pick him. And if he meets the age bracket, which is 17, 18, 19, and he meets the age bracket, yes, why not?
He's doing well. Okay, so which means he opened the camp, and then players from the academy joined.
Have you not been following? How did they do it? Because maybe they will just call him Zubairu. They'll get one player here. Oh yeah, go meet him. Just include him in the team. That was not how it works.
No, Jerry. We've had cases of players joining camp after conclusion of camp. They come with their jeep.
True.
And then players who have done so well during the trial rounds will be replaced. We've had cases like that. So Jerry, forget about this. My slot. See, this case of my slot, it's even lighter when it comes to Super Eagles.
Let me now tell you one thing. I wanted to wait. I don't want to jump into conclusion. I have authoritative sources as far as this Zubairu squad is concerned. But I want them to go to their 20 AFCON first and see what they are going to do before I will now start saying those things that have not been said. Because you can see the names of the players. I've gone through the names. I have tried to put one or two together. How come these players are on the list? Okay. But we will get there. Okay. Let them go to the 20 AFCON first and give us the performance that we expect. If they don't give us what we don't expect, Zubairu will bring him out. I'll ask him question. Okay, how did this man make the roster? we all know this and this and this. Because this is the thing. The only thing is that Zuberi is not the Ladamboso they've been recycling. That's why I've given him benefit of that. They've been recycling Salisu Yusuf, Ladamboso. Ladamboso will go and come back. Now, okay, they are trying Zubairu. Okay, let's see. Quota system, congratulations. You have done well. Zubairu did well for Academy 1 season, and you felt it's good enough to coach the under 20. No problem. Let him go to Egypt first of all and do wonders. Then we'll now say yes.
When we say even did well for Academy, did they win the league?
No, they went to the final of the Federation Cup, which they lost.
Did they come second?
Yes, they came second. Yeah, no, Federation Cup.
We're talking about the league.
No, they didn't win any.
Anybody can get to final of any tournament. I've always said, see, FA Cup.
Hey, that's the yardstick. Now, why you tackling me? That go sir.
Jerry.
You should call go sir and follow it and talk to him. Now. It's not me. That it's not Jerry.
Because if we say someone
say something, yeah.
See, Jerry, the thing is this. We are just making light of the situation. We will continue to run into this problem until we fix our talent pipeline issue. And talent pipeline issue, I mean, is this: how many of those people in the under 20 have a record of playing in the under 17? Let me even break what everybody has been dancing around to say. I'm not trying to lay aspersion on anybody. How many of those guys are actually 20 years old? How many of them are under 20? Let's start from there. There is no record of them coming from the under 17 upward. That's just the truth. Let's not dance around it. Let's not dance around it. I know people have been very careful about saying it, but let's not dance around it. How many of them? What is the record? In certain climes, you will see player move from under 17, under 19, and the rest of that under 20, and just that is not applicable here. How many of those players have that record? We don't have that record. Majority of those that are claiming under 20, majority of them, they have children that will probably be their own. You understand? That'll probably be my younger brother. As you know what I mean. There's a particular Chrysanthos. He said he was 17 the other time. There's a little Messi somewhere. Let's not begin to mention him. There's a particular one that went to 2005. His name is Ego. Everybody knows him. He went to AC Milan. He flopped. We know all these things, and the same thing continues to happen. And until we fix this, we'll continue to have this discussion. There is a need for us, to fix this talent issue. Yes, Lagos City, Sporting Lagos, they are doing fantastically well. They have the Beyond Limit Academy. That is a starting point. Other clubs, they need to follow suit. Yes, it's very expensive to run this academy, but that is the way to go for us to be able to produce quality players. Or else we'll continue to rely on all these foreign base, because majority of them, when they say they're actually 25, they're actually 25, not somebody that's already 30 and is claiming 20. And that's the reason why majority of them fade out. We just need to fix, our academy issue if we begin to produce quality players, not this, for a lack of better word, not this Adamodi, or what they call in English fraud that we are presenting as under 20.
Anyway, there's MRI scan now. I hope the MRI will do his job.
Jerry, let me shock you. MRI scan is very, very effective as at when you are between 15, 16, 17. When you have crossed that age, they only give you an estimation. You cannot determine it for sure. So I can bet with you, majority of those people that will come in as under 20, I can bet with you they are not 20 years old. And that's just your honest truth.
I remember,
you can ask any medical practitioner.
I remember in 2005 when a certain team came back from the under 20 World Cup. One of the goalkeepers, he was greeted at the airport by his wife and 3 children.
Is it under 20 or under 17?
Was it under 17?
Under 17, 2000.
Let's not go into the details now.
That's about it under 17.
The story is that 3 children were waiting for him at the airport with his wife.
Let me share the story for you. Is the guys that went to the 89 tournament, one of them was claiming 17. He had 3 children.
That's
one of the child is about 7. I've not mentioned anybody's name. The child is about 17 years old. Came to the airport. I didn't mention anybody's name.
It's possible at age.
That's what we heard the story of
12.
Yes.
He was already a responsible
they said
father.
when he was signed in Europe, You know, they look at him and his size. You know, they started feeding him to grow tall. Instead of that, they started growing fat.
Anyway, let's talk about the Champions League. It's up tonight, and according to talking about Opta stats and Opta predictor, Barcelona are now the favorite to win the UEFA Champions League with a 24% chance, and they also have the best odds of reaching the final at 45%. And the most evenly balanced tie will be between Arsenal and Real Madrid, with Arsenal slightly favored to progress by 52.5% versus 47.5% for Real Madrid. I'm not a mathematician. I believe in what I see. And the crystal ball is telling me different from what Opta is telling me in terms of who has the better percentage of winning tonight's clash at the Emirates Stadium. I don't know whether you agree with Opta that Arsenal stands a better chance of picking the victory tonight at the Emirates Stadium as they take on the Galacticos of Real Madrid.
This is a very close tie, and that's why we're having this 52% to 47%.
Very close.
Very close.
Wow. Okay.
In sense that look at the team. I'm not looking at individual quality in that team now. I'm looking at the team. On balance of play, Arsenal has got a very good team this season, and you don't want to overrule or look at Arsenal and you believe you just come to the Emirates and walk over them. No. Real Madrid against Man City this season, we saw them, and then we saw how Arsenal actually played against Man City. So that's also an indication that Arsenal side has actually grown. Again, going into this particular tie, Real Madrid is obviously the favorite, even when they don't have the legs to play because of their history in this particular competition. But then again, Real Madrid will be relying mostly on the quality of players they have on the pitch. But in terms of the quality of team, I don't think they are far apart from Arsenal. Again, that's where I think that Arsenal has really got a very good fighting chance. Arsenal can actually Arsenal play better against a team that is way above them. And that is why I'm actually believing this particular tie is going to be an Arsenal win or draw game tonight. I cannot say for who is going to qualify, at this stage. Perhaps after this game, we'll be able to look at the game and say, okay, perhaps this is what's going to most likely happen. But on the balance of play, I think Arsenal is going to actually most likely draw or win this game tonight. And if you ask me personally, I'll tell you Arsenal will go through in this round.
Arsenal will move to the
semi-finals.
Wow. Anyway, he is a prophet that has been tested and not trusted. But I will not want to go far. Arsenal fans, please be careful of all the prophecies you hear. Because we cannot see. Well, in case you, yeah.
Well, I think we should give him credit. He said Liverpool will lose one cup, and they did. So we should give Ikechukwu small credit, even though the credit is not much. But in any case, for the game of Liverpool and for the game of Arsenal and Real Madrid, the bottom line is this: I think what Opta is putting into consideration, because the Opta stuff is more of a mathematical gathering of statistics, and basically what is looking at. If you look at the Arsenal defense in the Champions League, they are one of the two teams that are considered less goals in this season's Champions League, and that's one of the reasons why they are tipping Arsenal has the higher percentage of winning, because of the fact that their defensive has been a bit solid than the Real Madrid side. Real Madrid, has been conceding goals for fun in this season's Champions League. Yes, they've been able to wriggle their way out, and get to this particular stage by sheer, by sheer commitment and by sheer talent. However, defending has been an issue for them in terms of saying Arsenal will probably take the day. But if you look at the team pound for pound, with the return of Saka and the rest of that, and the way Real Madrid is conceding goals, if Arsenal can be more disciplined and be concentrated for the entire 90 minutes, I think they stand a better chance of winning. One, they are playing at home, and the result at home for Arsenal this season has been fantastic. They play against the Real Madrid side that lost to a Valencia side over the weekend. They struggled in that particular game. And if Arsenal come correct, I think they can now play the Real Madrid side and probably win. Also, the Arsenal team will probably draw an inspiration from their female side. They faced off against the Real Madrid side and were able to overcome them. So I think I want to think the game is going to go the way of Arsenal because of a whole lot of things that will play in their favor. At the moment, Real Madrid is not firing on us in terms of defending. So I want to tip Arsenal to win.
All right, Real Madrid have played 22 matches against English sides in the knockout stages since 2017-2018, winning 11, and this match promises to be a thrilling encounter with both teams in strong form. And taking a look at injuries, the key players who are going to make the difference tonight. Thibaut Courtois has declared himself fully fit for tonight's clash, and the Belgium international goalkeeper, who is 32, has missed the past 3 matches for the Spanish team with an injury, and that is what we are talking about. We are missing a quality of Thibaut Courtois, and that is why you see maybe Madrid have not been performing well in terms of the goalkeeping position. Now we're having him back. For Arsenal, on their own case, Magalhaes is out for the season. Who covers for him? Against Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Endrick. Man, this firepower is so much. Saliba alone can't do it. I don't know who is playing the left and right. I feel for who is going to be playing the left fullback and the right fullback for Arsenal tonight.
Well, Jerry, let's look at that Real Madrid side again and look at how Arsenal is most likely going to set up that their team. Yes, we know that Gabriel is a very big miss in the heart of Arsenal defense. I mean, the synergy with Saliba has proven to be the best centre parent in England at this moment, arguably one of the best even in Europe. But then going in this particular game, if you look at just that as a criteria for Arsenal losing that particular game, you might not be entirely wrong. But then Arsenal as a team, I think it's going to boil down to who is most likely going to be able to break the midfield most in this particular game. Who is most likely going to dominate in the middle of the park? And I'll put my money on this particular one. That Arsenal is going to dominate this particular game in the middle. Carlo Ancelotti's side has never been known to actually dominate any team when it comes to middle. Yes, he's very tactical. He really is not a master of keeping the ball. And if Arsenal can actually keep the ball very well, then it means that the runs of Kylian and Vinicius Jr. will most likely be useless at the end of the day, because they cannot run Arsenal from the middle of the pitch to the goal post. So Arsenal is going to play one game, and that game is let them be able to keep the ball and keep it very well. If they can do that for 90 minutes, there will be less pressure in the defense. Again, Arsenal also needs to really convert their chances. That's another thing they really need to do very well. I don't think it's going to be a very bad game for Arsenal because of Gabriel. I just only want to believe that Arsenal just needs to do what they need to do well, which is ensure that this ball, even if you are losing the ball, lose the ball very far wide. Make sure you don't lose the ball in the middle of the park where just one pass and then Arsenal defense is cut open. So I want to believe Arteta is also thinking along this line, because in this sort of games, just one single mistake and they can actually decide the entire game. Before Arsenal played Man City in this particular season, the second leg, a lot of talks were going, Arsenal is going to lose that game. Man City know how to actually do what they know how to do best. They have the character, they have this, but then at the end of the day, we saw what happened. Arsenal will always turn up against a team that people believe will crush them. And this is not going to be different.
All right, Maiwa, the injury concerns of both sides, will it affect their chances? And we know that Tchouaméni is also out of tonight's game. But we know Antonio Rudiger, the rude man in the centre back, definitely is going to make life difficult for whoever is going to be attacking for Arsenal. For me, I see Saka and maybe Leandro Trossard and Havertz. Okay, would they have what it takes to break the defense line of the Real Madrid side?
What's his name? Carlo Ancelotti is the master of improvisation. Remember, in this round of Champions League, in this season of Champions League, he had gone into a game with about 4 key players out and he ended up winning that particular time. Get anything away from him? Yes, the injury might affect how he wants to set up, but he has a way of, adjusting his team to respond to any particular situation and he has done it so well this season. So definitely, I don't think it will be much of an issue for a Real Madrid side. For Arsenal, definitely, Gabriel will be missed in the center of the park, and the pairing between Saliba and Gabriel, is a joy to watch, and they are going to miss them. However, I think, like Kechuk rightly said, this game will be determined from the middle of the park, and I think if you see the way Real Madrid are set up so far, I don't think they will have much control in the middle of the park. Arsenal will probably outplay them the way they will set up, and that will probably have a whole lot of impression on that particular game that will actually determine how that game would particularly go. So definitely Gabriel will be missed, but however, I don't think it will be that missed owing to the fact that Arsenal will control the play from the middle of the park. And probably what will really matter in this particular game is this: if Arsenal is going to win, they need to take their chances. If they don't take their chances, then you can give Madrid as a lifeline in winning this particular game. They will control the game, but they have to take their chances if they want to have any shot, at getting to the semi-finals of the Champions League.
All right, and the Madrid starting lineup is already out. There's Valverde, Asensio, Rudiger, and David Alaba at the back for Real, and Luka Modric, Camavinga, and Jude Bellingham in the middle of the park. And there's Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, and Rodrigo. Fantastic lineup.
Absolutely, a very strong lineup it is. But then the weakness, Real Madrid is not very solid in the back line. They're also not very solid in the middle of the park. Let's be honest ourselves. Luka Modric still got the vision, but then the strength and the leg, he doesn't have it anymore. And if Arsenal can actually impose themselves in that particular midfield, Arsenal will, most likely just run away with that game. And yes, it is when the likes of Luka Modric, the likes of Kylian and Vini get the ball or get those passes, defense-pleasing passes, that you definitely see the best of them. Arsenal, again, the heart of Real Madrid defense will also do a lot of thinking, because there's no Erling Haaland that Rudiger will chase all about. There's no out-and-out striker that will be chasing about. So those sort of games is going to be very complex, and it will force likes of Rudiger to either want to go wide or pull into the middle, because Havertz is going to do a lot of mental work for causing a lot of mental problems for them.
All right, time not really our friend. There's also the game between Bayern Munich and Inter Milan at the Allianz Arena. It's also another very key fixture tonight. Of course, a battle of two European greats out there. It's going to be fantastic to watch out for. And of course, a big thanks to the guys who made it a success. Today, talking about the likes of Shegun, Sam, Silva, and of course, Paul and Ikechukwu, who's an Arsenal fan. I wish him all the best tonight. I hope it will not end in tears. Maiwa, it's also great to have you join us.
Well, it's always amazing to be here. Out of the 4 teams playing, it's only Arsenal that has not won anything in Europe. I hope that destiny will change tonight. Maybe we need to visit the rugby for them. Thank you for having me, Jeff.
I hope they will not have to escape from the stadium like the ref who officiated the Ikorodu City game. I heard that she had to dress like a police officer to escape the mob.
Now the question is, where did she get the uniform?
They got the uniform for her because that's the brother. If you are in a situation, people will find solution for you. May you not be in that situation by the grace of God. All right, my name is Jerry Apelo. I said, if not for anything at all, of course, enjoy the UEFA Champions League tonight and do it the sports way.